How accurate is it to say that the real debate for Israel, or the real decision, is on the one hand, we're going to take and secure more land, that will give us security and place Jerusalem and Israel further from the bullets and the missiles. And on the other hand, we need to give back some land and be willing to sacrifice security. Is that too simplistic, or is that on the target?
Well, it is that has been thought of for many years as the argument, and you have to have a certain sympathy for the nationalistic, security-conscious, conservative Israelis, because goodness knows they've had 6 wars now with their Arab neighbors. Most of them begun not all by the Arabs, but not the Israelis, and that little narrow neck of Israel, which you can see on the map there. Here along this little bit of Israel, that's about 19 miles wide, and it's a great worry that to not have more land to retreat behind. You know, the United States is rather comfortable with the size of our continental country. However, I think that the issues now go beyond that, in that the international control of military activity is greater now. I think it's possible to have a military intervention group between for the foreseeable future between Israel and the new Palestinian nation. It's possible to have an essentially demilitarized Palestine, which I think there would be. I think the agreement would end up with very great controls upon the type of army, the type of weaponry that the Palestinians could have. I think everyone agrees pretty much with that, except some of the Palestinians who say they would not have full sovereignty unless they had control of their military. But I think that they'd have to sacrifice that in order to have a deal with the Israelis. So it's the other aspect that makes it not just land versus security is what the argument I've been making tonight, that if they can take over all the land they want, to maintain control of all that land, but they can't then operate as a Jewish democracy. It just won't work. And they're going to get into more and more criticism internationally and globally. If, Jimmy Carter was terribly criticized by many Israeli supporters and many people who are sympathetic to Israel, when in his book he talked about Israel being analogous to the Bantustans in South Africa, an apartheid situation. Well, if you really look at the West Bank and look at the way it's organized and the way it's administered by the Israeli military, it's very hard to gainsay President Carter even now that it's not an apartheid situation. And as the years go by, it will become more and more so, particularly as the Arabic majority becomes more and more clear. So I think that they have that important reason to withdraw, as well as to add to the security